Moi everyone and welcome to Finish Your Plate. Lätyt, or lätut, pletut, platut, whichever way you want to call them, are a popular dessert item in Finland. They're kind of like crepes, but there's a little bit of difference in the ingredients and maybe even the method. Most often they're served with some fruit jams. Strawberry is a common one. Some whipped cream, maybe just some sugar. Sometimes they're also served with savory fillings. But join me and I'll show you how to make this basic lettu, and so this way you can then make your own filling with it. I've been watching this show on TV called Rented in Finland. It's a Korean TV show. It has 4 Korean actors who rent a cabin in northern Finland in Lapland, and in the episodes they try all kinds of Finnish food, and in one of the episodes they had some crepes, or as Finns call them, lätyt or letut.
우리만 먹어서 아
너무 맛있는데요?
와우
And I thought I will make a variation of them. You could definitely make them pretty simply with just sugar and maybe some strawberry jam. You can make them savory, you can make them sweet. Either way, they're very quick, very easy to make. I'm going to crack 2 eggs into my bowl. Get rid of the shells. And let me just whisk the eggs just to break up the yolks. There we go. And now I will add 300 milliliters of whole milk, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and here comes the flour. I have 1.5 deciliters, 150 mils of all-purpose flour, and 100 milliliters, 1 deciliter of barley flour. So barley flour is pretty commonly used in Finnish crepes, and it's going to give them its own kind of taste and texture. And the last thing, half a teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to let this batter rest for about 30 minutes. Room temperature is fine. You don't need to put it in the fridge. You could, of course, keep this even overnight, and then you would want to put it in the fridge. But I'm going to keep it about 30 minutes. Now batter has been resting for about 30 minutes. One last thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1.5 deciliters of club soda or seltzer water in here. Do not use tonic water. But the club soda is going to add a little bit of that airiness into the batter. There we go. And now let's turn on our heat. So I'm using just a regular non-stick pan to fry the crepes. But in Finland, a lot of people have these kinds of pans. These have these small indentations, so you can make small crepes instead, small lätty. Or the other popular way to make them is, especially in the summertime, is on a campfire, open fire. You have a big cast iron cooktop that stands on legs over the fire, and then you just fry the crepes on top of them. But I'm going to use my non-stick pan, and I'm going to add a good amount of butter. Let that melt. That was about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Okay, our butter is ready. So now I'm just going to put some batter here. And we're going to cook these. There is a little bit of a learning curve here because you want to make the crepes pretty thin, but too thin and they will break up. But that's all right. The first couple ones will almost always fail. It's fine. Let's see if I can flip this over without breaking it. And it broke. That's all right. We'll try again. Like I said, first couple ones, and always the test versions. Let's take this out. Let's do it again. Let's try to make the batter this time a little bit more even. So hopefully we can get that lacy edge and at the same time that they don't break up. A little bit more over here. And while the next one is frying up, we're going to try the failed one. Let's see if we can flip this one without breaking it. There we go. Much better. Much better. But unfortunately, we're still not quite getting that lacy edge. It could also be the pan. I think if I used a cast iron pan, it might come out a little bit more lacy. It's all right. And this is about how you would want it to look as far as how well done it should be. All right, so let's take this one out now. And we'll keep going. I'm going to add a little bit more butter because all my butter is pretty much gone. Let's add some butter again. I think I'll turn down the heat just a little. Okay, let's try this again. Also, before flipping, you want to be sure that it's completely done already, otherwise it'll tear up. Maybe that was also the problem with the first one, that it wasn't quite completely done yet, and that's why it ripped apart. It seems also that if you have a very hot pan, you get more of that lacy edge rather than if you have a cooler pan. And that also might be the reason why the first couple ones usually do not turn out that well. So like I said, you could have a savory filling or a sweet filling to go with Lätyt. I would say the sweet filling, especially something like strawberry, is more common in the summertime, and savory filling maybe a little bit more common in the wintertime. But there's significant overlap between the two, so it's not a hard and fast rule. In the show, though, they had some strawberry jam and some whipped cream to put on top of the Lätyt. So let's make a quick whipped cream. I have here 1 deciliter of heavy cream, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of sugar and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we're just gonna whip this up. All right, so our whipped cream is ready. Let's put on some strawberry jam first, and let's spread it out a little. A popular way to serve these two is just with some sugar. Just sugar, maybe some whipped cream. And a little dollop of whipped cream. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and taste it. Let's grab a little bit of a strawberry, a little bit of whipped cream, a little bit of everything. It's very good. They are almost perfect by themselves. Maybe one thing if I would say is, because I used club soda, you could probably reduce the amount of salt just a tiny bit, but even as it is, they're pretty good. So you could obviously use club soda or seltzer water. Again, don't use tonic water because tonic water is flavored with other things. So that doesn't go well here. But seltzer or club soda will definitely work well. And I hope you're going to try to make these Finnish Lätyt yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.